America. A big hand now for the very well-known, the Golden Eagle.
Welcome to the pain zone. It's where we live.
This is the last 50 yards. You gotta give. You gotta give. Do not fail. Do not fail. You cannot be a loser.
The iron calls to some men softly. To others, it screams. But to Tom Platz, it didn't just call, it possessed him. In the golden era of bodybuilding, when giants walked among mortals, one man transcended the sport itself. He didn't just build legs. He sculpted monuments to human obsession. They called him the Golden Eagle, but eagles soar through the sky. Tom Platz descended into the depths of human pain and emerged as something beyond mortal understanding. Standing on stages across the world, his legs weren't just muscle, they were manifestos. Declarations of war against the very concept of enough. In a sport where men chase perfection, Tom Platz chased something far more dangerous. He chased the impossible, and in doing so, he didn't just change bodybuilding. He rewrote the laws of human limitation.
I want you to fail, and I want you to get up and do it again. The same thing in life is the same thing here. If you can do this, you can do anything. Anything. Right now, you're 5% away. 5% away from being a champion.
Detroit, 1955. A small boy stares at a magazine photo of Dave Draper, and lightning strikes twice. Once in the sky, once in a young soul. Tom Platz wasn't born to be a bodybuilder. He was chosen by iron itself. While other children played with toys, Tom played with destiny. His first barbell wasn't equipment. It was an altar. His first squat wasn't an exercise. It was a prayer to the gods of muscle.
The squat is not something you just do a few of these and do something else. This is a religion. This is the altar.
But the gods are cruel teachers. They whispered promises of greatness while demanding sacrifices that would break lesser men. Tom listened to those whispers. More than listened, he obeyed. In his parents' basement, surrounded by concrete walls and flickering lights, a legend began to take shape. Not in the mirror, but in the mind. Not in the muscle, but in the madness. Every rep was a conversation with pain. Every set was a negotiation with impossibility. While his friends chased girls and parties, Tom chased something that couldn't be caught, only earned. He didn't know it yet, but he was already walking the path that would make him immortal. The basement became his temple. The barbell became his Bible. And pain, beautiful, honest, transformative pain, became his religion. Every prophet needs his promised land. For Tom Platz, that land was California. Venice Beach, Gold's Gym, the Mecca where iron dreams became reality and mortals transformed into myths. He arrived not as a conqueror, but as a student, surrounded by giants. Arnold with his Austrian arrogance, Franco with his Italian fire, Zane with his artistic precision. Tom found his calling in the most punishing exercise known to man, the squat.
Do the squat. It's the hardest thing in the world to do the squat. This is balance and control and it's scary. But that's why it's so effective, okay? The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else, okay?
While others chased arms that could fill sleeves and chests that could stop traffic, Tom descended into the underworld of leg training. The squat rack became his confessional. The barbell became his cross to bear. And with each descent into that painful paradise, he discovered something profound. The only limits that matter are the ones we accept. Gold's Gym had seen many warriors, but none like Tom Platz. He didn't train, he transformed. Each workout was a metamorphosis. Each session was a step closer to something that had never existed before. The other bodybuilders watched in fascination and horror as this blonde-haired prophet from Detroit redefined what the human leg could become. "You must go beyond," he would scream.
Promise yourself. You fucking promise yourself you'll be the best fucking person you can be. That is what makes you train. That is what makes muscles grow. Nobody fucking knows the secret. That is it. And that feeling like you have to fucking do it.
His voice echoing off the iron-stained walls. But beyond what? beyond comfort, beyond reason, beyond the safe boundaries that keep most men trapped in mediocrity. Tom Platz wasn't interested in safe. He was interested in sacred. In the Cathedral of Gold's Gym, Tom Platz performed miracles. Not the kind that heal, the kind that destroy and rebuild. His leg workouts became the stuff of legend. Grown men, champions in their own right, would gather just to witness the impossible. They came expecting to see training. They left having witnessed transformation. 525 pounds loaded onto the bar. The weight that would crush most men's dreams became Tom's daily communion. 23 repetitions. Not because the program called for it, not because science demanded it, but because something deeper, something primal, something beyond human understanding, whispered that this was the price of greatness. The first rep was preparation. The 10th was dedication. The 20th was desperation. But the 23rd, well, the 23rd was pure transcendence. In that moment, Tom Platz ceased to be human. He became a force. He became will. He became the living embodiment of what happens when obsession meets opportunity. Spectators didn't just watch. They witnessed a man becoming myth. The screams weren't just sounds, they were prayers. The tears weren't just moisture, they were baptism. This wasn't training. This was transformation at its most raw, most honest, most beautiful. His legs didn't just grow, they evolved, became something beyond muscle, beyond anatomy. They became monuments to human potential, cathedrals built from pain and dedication, masterpieces carved from the raw stone of absolute commitment. Other bodybuilders trained their legs. Tom Platz worshipped his. And in that worship, he discovered something that would echo through the decades. The difference between good and great isn't talent. It's the willingness to go where others won't.
If there's a risk involved in an exercise, and there is, you're out here in the open wind and you could fall. If there's a risk associated with a movement, it's a good exercise. If there's minimal risk, why do it? It's probably a bullshit exercise, okay?
The stage was Tom's battlefield, but he fought a different war than other men. While they chased symmetry, he chased the sublime. While they posed, he performed. While they displayed their bodies, Tom revealed his soul. His posing wasn't routine, it was theater. Each flex told a story of sacrifice. Each pose was a chapter in the gospel of intensity. The crowd didn't just applaud, they worshipped. They had come to see a bodybuilding contest. They left having witnessed a religious experience. 1981, Mr. Universe. The closest he ever came to the ultimate crown. But crowns are for kings, and Tom Platz was something more dangerous. He was a prophet. He stood next to men with perfect proportions, flawless symmetry, textbook physiques. Men who had followed every rule, checked every box, satisfied every judge's expectation. And yet, when Tom hit his leg shots, the universe held its breath. Perfection is forgettable. Obsession is eternal. The judges saw imbalance. The crowd saw revolution. History would prove the crowd right. He never won Mr. Olympia, never claimed the sport's highest prize. But prizes are temporary. Legends are forever. While champions fade into footnotes, Tom Platz became mythology. His name whispered in gyms around the world. His methods studied by generations of iron warriors. His philosophy carved into the hearts of anyone who ever dared to dream beyond their limitations. But what drives a man to such extremes? What voice whispers in the darkness, demanding more when the body screams enough? The answer lies not in Tom's muscles, but in his mind. Not in his physique, but in his philosophy. You must go beyond your limitations, Tom preached. But he wasn't talking about weight. He wasn't talking about reps. He was talking about the human condition itself. The comfortable lies we tell ourselves about what's possible. The safe boundaries we construct to protect ourselves from our own potential. Pain became his teacher. The squat rack became his church. And in that sacred space, Tom discovered something profound. The only prison that matters is the one we build in our minds. Every rep was a key. Every set was an escape. Every workout was a jailbreak from the ordinary. This wasn't bodybuilding anymore. This was philosophy written in muscle fiber, theology carved in quadriceps, a masterclass in the beautiful madness of absolute commitment. While others trained to build bodies, Tom trained to build character. While others lifted weights, Tom lifted the human spirit. His legs became his sermon. His intensity became his scripture. And his refusal to accept limitations became his gift to the world. When the stage lights dimmed and the crowds went home, Tom Platz faced his greatest challenge, life after legend. But prophets don't retire, they teach. In gyms around the world, his voice still echoes. You must go beyond, not just in training, but in life. Not just in the gym, but in the soul. His legs may have been his masterpiece, but his legacy is something greater. He proved that obsession, channeled correctly, becomes art. That madness, embraced fully, becomes wisdom. That the distance between impossible and inevitable is measured not in miles, but in the willingness to suffer for something greater than yourself. They called him the Golden Eagle, but eagles are bound by the laws of flight. Tom Platz transcended those laws. He didn't just soar, he transformed. In a sport of champions, he became something more. In a world of limits, he became limitless. Tom Platz didn't just build the greatest legs in bodybuilding history. He built a bridge between the possible and the impossible, and invited us all to cross.